Welcome into Spotlight on Kansas City Sports. And we're taking a little bit different look this week. Usually on Sports TV Plus, we kind of rattle through the main teams that people think about in Kansas City. We talk about the Royals, the Chiefs, Sporting, and the current, because women's sports are rising in Kansas City. And the Kansas City Current isn't alone, because it's time to pay your respect to the Kansas City Glory, Kansas City's own female tackle football team. We're joined by one of the co-head coaches, Spencer Peterson, and one of the Glory's key players, Brittany O'Connor. Spencer, Brittany, thanks for joining us here on Spotlight on Kansas City Sports. Really glad to have you on to talk a little bit about the KC Glory.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. It's awesome.
And Spencer, can you tell us a little bit about the Glory to people watching that, didn't know that there's a professional women's team, and it's a solid, established team? Guys have been in Kansas City since 2021. Is that
2019. 2019 was the first year.
Okay.
Women's football has been in Kansas City since about 2000. Kansas City Titans, Kansas City Crunch. I'm sure I'm probably missing one other name, but Kansas City's had a solid base for women's football for a long time, and Kansas City Glory just kind of continuing that and really building off of what all those who came before us have built up. Actually, our owner, Coach Kiki, she was on one of the national championship teams back in, I want to say 2001, won a gold medal with Team USA. So we have a really solid base of everything built up, and we're continuing that greatness we're trying to achieve.
Well, and you're part of the Women's National Football Conference, and it's 11 on 11, full padded tackle football. So, Brittany, if somebody's watching, it's the football that you're used to watching. It's not, some people may say, it's flag football.
Well, I actually am a player who I've played flag.
Football.
Yeah, legends and tackle. So to be a part of the tackle football world it's awesome. We don't hold back.
What are fans going to see when they go to a Glory game? And what would you say is the biggest takeaway when you go see the KC Glory play? What does the Glory really kind of build off of? What's the foundation of the team?
I would say community, and they really do embody just being a part of something bigger than ourselves, because a lot of the women who are out here, like myself, I come all the way from Oregon. We're sacrificing a lot just to be on the team. And we don't really get the recognition, and we're still working full-time jobs, as well as, we just got back from Mississippi, and all of us are out at work on Monday, all, beat and bruised up from the game. So it's just the way it goes, and we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. We're happy to be a part of it.
Does that create some unusual conversations when you're coming back, if people don't realize what you do?
Yeah, I try to let my coworkers know ahead of time before season starts, so that way when they see the bruises on me, because I'm on the O-line and the D-line, so I'm really getting my hands on people, and they're getting their hands on me every single snap. So.
Well, now, you said you came from Oregon. Did you move from Oregon to Kansas City specifically to play for the Glory?
Coach Peterson's actually been trying to recruit me out to the Glory since my rookie year with the Ravens. I played 3 seasons with them. I was 2-time MVP and a defensive player of the year. And I just had got to a part of my career where I was ready to be a part of something bigger. And the Glory, they've been to the playoffs. I want to experience the playoffs, but also they've been building a championship organization, and I really want to play my part in it. So here I am.
That's great.
All the way from Oregon.
And so everybody's also working full time. I do a show as well on our sister channel, Wrestling Spotlight. Talk with a lot of independent wrestlers who are trying to get going in pro wrestling. And until you get up to the WWE, AEW, TNA level, you're working a full-time job and traveling all the time on the weekends, plus working the workouts in to have your matches. Similar dynamic. What's a week like for you as a player, and Spencer, for you as a coach? What's the schedule like? What has to go to establishing that coordination, that sync to be a polished football team?
You want to take it first, Spence?
Yeah, you can go,
I'll go ahead. We start breaking film down usually Sundays. If it's an away game on the road, I'll break it down if I'm not driving. So we'll get that all settled in. So Monday we'll have our team meeting, mostly via Zoom. We got a couple out-of-town players. Brittany is not alone and traveling down here to play football with us. We have our starting running back. She's from Pittsburgh. Our starting quarterback's from LA. We got 2 girls from Finland, 1 girl from Sweden. We got a lot of people that came here and sacrificed a lot to be here. So it takes a lot of investment. So we'll have team meetings on Mondays, kind of break down our install. We'll have practice Tuesday, have another special teams meeting Wednesday, and then if a position group wants to meet, they usually do. Practice Thursday. If it's a home game, we'll have a walkthrough on Friday, and then obviously the game Saturday. If it's a away game, Friday's that travel day. So depending on where we go, you're leaving about 6:30, 7:30 in the morning. So, I mean, that's usually what a week looks like, especially getting everything set up from the coaching side. A lot of film, a lot of data to input and figure out what teams are trying to do and scheme around that. I know it's completely different for our players, so I'll let Brittany take the wheel on that one.
Yeah, fairly similar idea, I guess, because we all know ahead of time our coaches and our staff is just really great at communicating what practices and expectations are going into the season. And it's a lot of us, straight from work, straight to practice or hop on Zoom. A lot of people work full-time jobs, kids. Some people have more than one job. And we'll do it all just to make sure we can sacrifice everything to be out there on the field on Saturdays. And then we turn around, travel home Sunday, and just repeat.
Yeah. Now, are you seeing the growth in women's sports? Because it's been obvious across sports media the last couple of years. I guess really kind of starting with the women's NCAA tournament a couple of years ago with Angel Reese going up against Caitlin Clark, but the Olympics dominated by the U.S. women's team, the NWSL here. I mean, you see the Kansas City Current now selling out their stadium downtown. It was only a few years ago they were FC Kansas City, and they were playing at the Blue Valley Athletic Center. That team folded, ended up becoming the Utah Royals. But now you see that level where the Current's actually outdrawing the Royals in Sporting sometime. How close? Because if there is a number one sport in America, it's football. How close is the National Women's Football Conference to breaking through? Because you're established, you have a dedicated roster, you have great coaching, and you're in markets that love sports. I mean, I think it's just a short jump to be on that level with the NWSL. Do you guys feel that? Do you see that coming, Brittany?
I mean, that's obviously the hope because we are busting our butt and we still have to pay player fees. We still have to pay our travel fees. So it is a lot. And so the goal, especially with all those that have come before us and all the sacrifices they have made laying the foundation, we wouldn't be doing our part if we wouldn't ensure that we get to that point where we're no longer having to pay to play and sponsors and people are investing money into us to watch us play, because statistics don't lie. Women's viewership, women's sports in general, it's up and growing, and coming from Portland into a town like Kansas where women's sports are so supported across the league, it really is just a matter of time. So it's just a matter of getting that viewership and the sponsorship in.
Spencer, do you see that too? It's just a matter of people experiencing the game, which they'll have a chance to do coming up here on April 19th when you're hosting Denver.
Yeah, I would just say get your tickets ahead of time. We actually sold out for the first time 2 weeks ago at our first home game. Awesome atmosphere for our first game. Ended up getting the win against a team we, as an organization, have not beat. So it was a great atmosphere. Huge win for us as a team. But I totally agree with Brittany. I think we're right there. There's obviously always more room for growth, but it's definitely heading that direction. And we weren't the only team that sold out. I know up in Seattle, I think they sold almost like 800 tickets, which is almost unheard of. And it's across the league. The growth is there. It's just we got to get the viewership on and the support. And kind of like what you said, for what the sport is, it's football. No matter which way you look at it, it's football. And everybody loves to watch it. And there's many elite athletes across the country, across the world in women's football. And once people get to finally see it, I think it'll explode. for sure.
Yeah, and like we said, you get a chance to go see them in action hosting the Denver Bandits. So when we know Kansas City and Denver, they don't go together. Saturday, April 19th, kickoff at 6 p.m. It's at a beautiful facility, the Pembroke Hill High School field, right off of Ward Parkway, so super easy to get to. Hicks Field right there. So you're in a great location, kind of centrally located, and I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. When should fans get there? Did the tailgating kick in yet? Because even if you don't have your grill, the good thing is you're on 5121 State Line Road, so there's a Gates Barbecue just a few blocks away.
Yeah, we actually have our own beer, so shout out to Vine Street and blanking on
Strange Days.
So Strange Days.
Yeah,
Chris is going to be, or GM's going to be upset about that one. But Strange Days made our own beer. It's an IPA, and then Vine Street, it's more of a cider, but we got our own there. They also have their own beers there, so it's a whole beer garden setup. We have ice cream made after us, and then we also have a taco truck there. So it's all set up to the side. You can hang out there pregame. I think they start about an hour before the game. So kickoff's at 6. If you want to get there about 5, we'll have merch inside the school, and then all that's outside the school. So usually about 5 is when that starts opening up, and you can see the players warm up. We come right through actually where the tailgate area is, so you get to see all the players coming through, shake hands, ask for autographs, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and what are we going to see with the Denver Bandits? What do they bring to the field? What style of play are we getting from them?
Yeah, I mean, they're a very physical team. They always have been. We've played them twice in the past 2 years. We're 1-1. Beat us 2 years ago in triple overtime, and then we beat them last year. Really good team. They have a really good running back in number 24, Grace Cooper. Has been playing football for a long time. One of those people that's built up women's football and just continues to do that. They're a physical team, and that's what they'll bring to the table. Not too worried. We're also a physical team, and I'm very confident in what we'll have ready come the 19th.
Well, and Brittany, I'll ask you, get the players' opinion. What are we seeing when the KC Glory is on the attack? Since you play both sides, what are we seeing when the KC Glory is on the attack? And then what's the defensive philosophy?
I mean, I guess I can't give too much away in case somebody's listening, but we just do good thought through football where our coaches are very good at watching film and breaking down what the other team does and tailoring our offense and defense to work with our offensive and defensive weapons and positions that they're most successful in. That's part of another reason why I did want to come out here to Kansas was the coaching staff. And so you'll just see a lot of key players in the correct spot making big plays. I can guarantee that.
That's right. Well, that's what Bill Belichick always says. You put players in the best position to win the game.
Indeed.
And that determines it. Who's the biggest threat this year in the National Women's Football Conference? Who are you guys targeting, saying, okay, that's the team that we're going to have to watch out for?
Unfortunately, we just lost to them this past week. Mississippi Lady Panthers. They're a really good team. Got a lot of talent. It was a pretty solid game until the end. Made some bad decisions on my part. Put us in a bad spot. It was only one score game going into about 5 minutes left in the fourth, and things just kind of fell apart. So we got to fix some mistakes on our end, but they're a very good team. I mean, across the board, receivers, running back, quarterback, defense. Their defensive line's phenomenal. They're a very good team. We played them last year twice. Again, almost beat them. Just trying to get over that hump there. So hopefully we see them again. Probably not until the national championship if we make it there like we should. But that's definitely the team everybody's looking out for. And then obviously the Dallas Texas Elite Spartans won 5 national championships in a row. Been to all 6 since the WNFC's been around. Their head coach is the owner of the league. A great leader for women's sports in general. So they always have some talent as well. So those 2 teams are really the ones to watch out for in our league for sure. And then obviously there's us.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. KC, right? So you mentioned the viewership is a goal. Want to build up viewership. where can people watch the games? Because I know there's a national streaming platform.
Yeah, it's
Where's the best place for somebody to go?
Victory Plus. It's a free app on anywhere you can get it on a Roku TV. Victory Plus, it's free, and you'll get all WNFC games. Get them live. They're posted basically the next day if you want to rewatch them or you couldn't catch the game. And we're also not the only sport on there. MLB and NHL is also on there. So there's all sorts of sports on there. So Victory Plus is the way to go if you want to catch a game if we're out of town or if you just can't make it in person.
Great. So you can get caught up to speed. It's short season too, because we're down to the heart of it now. We're in the midway point. You got the game against Denver on the 19th, and then you get Tennessee on the 3rd. That's it for the home slate. So we're into the heart of the season. You feeling good about where you're sitting so far, Brittany?
Of course, we would have liked to come out 2-0 on top of the champs, but we lost that battle, but we haven't lost the war there. Going in, I think the rest of our schedule, I do believe, is attainable to be 5-1 by the end. And then we'll see where we end up if we go Eastern or Western Conference, because since we're in the Central Division, they'll split us up somewhere. And yeah, we'll just tackle that challenge when it gets there.
Okay. Now, I did want to ask too, what about youth outreach? Because that is a key, because there's not a lot of venues for girls in high school to play football. How does the next generation get built up? Is that something you guys work on?
Well, thankfully, varsity flag football just got approved across the nation, I believe. So flag football is a sport within high school and college that's going to continue to take off. And I know our kicker works with the Chiefs NFL flag program. So our players, sometimes when they have camps, we do a lot of outreach to let players know, well, this is a flag camp. If you've ever thought about playing tackle football, that is an option out there as well, because we just support all sports, whatever avenue people want to play, but just having the accessibility and the role models out there in the community really make a big difference.
Sure.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, I actually coach varsity flag football at Olathe East. I think we have like 75 girls on the team. Amazing turnout. They want it more than I coach the boys as well. They're just as invested. I think that's the biggest key to getting more people into women's tackle football, is just one, bringing them up through football, and then two, obviously showing them that this is an option. Because I know there's a lot of people that don't even know that the WNFC is around or the Glory is around at all. So just getting them around that and showing it's an option is key for sure. And I think going to events like the NFL plays flag, or just having our players, they came out to our national tryout day. We had about 15 at our first game. Just them seeing that this is an option, and even better that they have the option to pursue flag in college is a huge opportunity for all of them.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's just a matter of getting it going, I think, because you're tilting back to our other channel, Wrestling Spotlight, again. Look at the growth in girls or women's wrestling at the high school and the college level. It's just exploded since that became a scholarship sport and a varsity sport. So the door's open. It's going to be coming, and once it starts, it'll just keep building. I wanted to hit too on something else that local groups, local businesses, and heck, national businesses around nationwide can get involved with the Kansas City Glory. I know there's a sponsorship package for the team in total, but you can also sponsor an individual player. Who would companies that are interested in that reach out to, Spencer, to get a little bit more information and get involved with the team?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, kansascityglory.com. We'll have sponsorship page on the tab. Go click on it. Then you get both options. You can either sponsor the team or sponsor players. I push to sponsor a player, kind of what Brittany said earlier. They're putting all this out of their pocket. So they're treating it like they're professional athletes, but then they got jobs on the side as well and families, and they're doing a whole lot at once. So if you could take that off their plate and get their player fees out of the way so they can just focus on football, that's huge for us. And obviously that's the goal at the end of the day. And anything that goes over, we we go to the playoffs, it just depends. We could have to go Portland, Oregon, or Nashville, Tennessee. That's an extra expense. So
Sure.
I push to support the players first and the team. If you would have a bigger sponsor, the team as well, but really get our players situated and make sure we can purely focus on playing football. But yeah, that would be the best route. Or you could reach out to me or Krishna Lee via email. Our email and our phone numbers are on the website as well. More than happy to talk about sponsorships anytime.
Well, it's incredibly affordable too. Was when you look at professional sports now, if anybody got the survey for the new potential stadium for the Chiefs or the renovated Arrowhead and saw the prices they're talking about, it's not those. Starts at $250 to be a sponsor, to contribute, to help build the glory up. That's the warm-up package. The kickoff is $500. The QB sack's $1,000. So we're talking about the amount of money that you would spend to go to one Chiefs game for a couple of people after you pay for parking and, your $60 parking and your $300 tickets. I mean, you're there. So it's very affordable. It's very attainable. And it's a good venue for local businesses to get involved. I'm sure Vine Street Brewing is getting some great exposure by being involved in the glory. So definitely something to check out. And it's right there on the website. Just go to kansascityglory.com and you can get more information about that. And Brittany, I wanted to ask you too, what's the relationship between the fans and the players? You get that extra energy from the fans being out there. Do you have that built up now with the glory when you go down to the game at Pembroke?
Yeah, I was going to say last year, Portland reset the WNFC attendance in a single game. And so coming to Kansas, I knew they already had a good fan base, but seeing the crowd actually sold out, everybody in their replica jerseys, it was just awesome and wild to see. Grandparents, kids, generational families out there supporting local women in the community that they know that are out there playing tackle football or just chasing their dreams. So it's awesome to see the support continued.
Yeah, and if you want to get tickets to the game coming up on the 19th, is it on the website or is there another place they should go to?
I think it's on the website, and then you can also purchase tickets at the door. So that's why if you are planning on coming, maybe do show up a little bit early to make sure you get a good seat, good parking spot, make sure you get tickets. And it's going to be a great day for weather, I hear. And last home game, it was actually beautiful out. So it'll be a good time.
Not $60 to park either, right?
No.
Free. But
Yeah.
you should get there early.
There
We
you
had
go.
people parking down the street last time.
Great. Well, pack them in there and definitely get involved and, take the day, go have a fun Saturday night and check out the Kansas City Glory as they are hosting the hated Denver Bandits. The Denver Bandits coming in. We want to send them back to the Mile High City. That's coming up on April 19th, Saturday night at 6 o'clock. So great time to get out there. Visit the website as well at kansascityglory.com and you can get involved. And then I just wanted to ask you guys just a couple of questions because, hey, we're coming up on the NFL draft and I'm sure football fans, who do you want to see the Chiefs draft in the first round of the NFL draft? Any views on what the Chiefs should do?
I've been too focused on our football program right now because I had to come in and learn a whole new offense and defense. So NFL's out of my mind. I'm focused on my season right now.
Laser
But
locked in.
Yes, sir.
My answer is actually going to be the same. I haven't, in a long time, I haven't looked at the draft at all. I got
No
too much
time.
fun over here. Yep.
I understand that. That makes perfect sense because you're in season. There is no time, especially like I said, with the schedules going, not a whole lot of time to get anything tied together and got to keep that mind set on the goal. So with that, we'll go to our champion of the week here.
Hey guys, it's your girl Ash by Elegance, and you're watching me on Wrestling Spotlight.
So we got our sister channel, Wrestling Spotlight, got our championship belt. Spencer, who do you want to give the championship belt to this week in the world of Kansas City sports?
I'm going to have to go with Cassidy Snowden. She's our outside linebacker for us, number 33. She's been with us 4 years. I think you can call me biased, but I don't think I'm the only one that thinks it. I think she's probably one of the best women's football players in the world. That's all around, and I'm not lying about that.
Great.
Little breakup passes, huge tackles this past weekend. She's punt returner, running back, all around a great athlete. So I'll give it to Cassidy Snowden this weekend for her efforts against the Mississippi Lady Panthers.
Okay, I like that. And Brittany, you're champion of the week. Who gets the championship belt? The whole team's an acceptable answer, too.
I know. Well, that's tough for me since I'm offense, defense, and special teams. I think I would have to give it to our center, Ida, because being center is hard, and having people literally put their hands in your face and punch you in the throat and try to beat you up and beat you down. Sure. She does it every single day and puts her head on for the very next play, and she's a great leader for our offensive line, and I know that's no tough feat, so I would have to give it to her.
I like that. Hey, you did mention that people are playing multiple positions. How many players are on the roster in total? I'm getting the sense it's not 53.
We got about 43. I want to say 43 or 44.
Okay, so pretty deep, but you got a few people playing both ways, which is absolutely hard. Well, just as we're wrapping it up here on Spotlight on Kansas City Sports on Sports TV Plus, talking with Spencer Peterson, co-head coach, and Brittany O'Connor. She's in the trenches, both offensive and defensive line for your Kansas City Glory. They're coming up. It's a bye week this week, but they got game 3 coming up at home April 19th against the Denver Bandits, and then 3 more games. So you're already in the stretch run of the season. So by all means, go ahead and get involved. Hop on KansasCityGlory.com. Get tickets for that game coming up on Saturday the 19th. And Spencer, any last thoughts as we close it out to fans wanting to get involved and support the Kansas City Glory?
I think definitely come out the 19th and just experience it for yourself. Like I said, we have athletes from all over the world. We have athletes that are born and raised in Kansas City and, again, are just as good as those around the world. So come experience for yourself, see the amazing athletes we have, and watch us come out with a win.
Great. And Brittany, any last words for the fans, and maybe just a little pitch to get them to come out to the Pembroke Hill School and check out the game at Hicks Field?
Yes, I will say repeat what Coach said. I will say even if you can't come catch a game, it's our bye week. Make sure you download Victory Plus because you can go back and watch our first 2 games that we've already played. Pick out your favorite players that you want to come watch when you come watch us on the 19th. Follow us on Instagram. We're big on social media, and obviously if you give our team a following, that just helps our growth and ability to get sponsorship. And then also they always post watch parties if you're not able to come or maybe don't want to watch it in the actual stands. Yeah. They're big on different watch parties that are at local areas within downtown Kansas City where they will display women's sports and stream all of our games and stuff. So just keep an eye out. Yeah, support the team, support the players. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, get in and give it up for the Glory as women's sports are on the ascent. So get involved now, and you can check it out and have a great time watching a little football before it's normal football season with the Kansas City Glory. Spencer, Brittany, thanks a lot for joining us here on Spotlight at KC Sports on Sports TV Plus. Download that True TV Plus app. Tune in on TCL, Sports.TV, Carbon TV, and Watchy. And we'll see you back here next week for the Spotlight on Kansas City Sports. Thanks a lot.